Here's something for you to think about. Taking drug tests when applying for a job? Sure, at some places. But what about when you apply for unemployment benefits? A Florida lawmaker has proposed a bill that calls for random drug testing to ensure that people getting unemployment checks won't use that money to buy drugs. Critics say, not so fast. That could be an invasion of privacy. Let's have a fair and balanced debate right now. Florida State Senator Mike Bennett proposed the bill. He is joining us screen right, and Bill Piper is with the Drug Policy Alliance. He's screen left in our nation's capital. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
All right, Mike, let's start with you. Why do you think this is a good idea to randomly drug test people who file for unemployment?
Well, in Florida, our unemployment rate a lot across the state is between 10 and 11% and increasing.
Right.
Our unemployment trust fund has got approximately $800 million in it, and we've got a burn rate now because of the unemployment of around $200 million. So we're closing that gap real fast, and I wanted to ensure that people who are qualified for unemployment, or that the money would be there when they actually go down and get unemployment.
Sure.
And that we weren't supporting people who were not able to go to work. And it was nothing against the people who were using the drugs as much as it was to ensure that the people who needed unemployment would be there when it would be there when they got there.
Well, let me ask you this, Mr. Bennett, since you're worried about the people who need the money when they apply for unemployment. What if they apply for unemployment and they wind up with a false positive? They had a poppy bagel that morning or something like that, and it says, that's a drug user, don't give them any money.
No, I think like anything else, we will have a way to go back and get a retest of it. Or if you've got somebody that's got allergic reactions or something along that line, they can certainly go in with, just like right now, my construction workers have to pass a random drug test when they come in.
Sure.
And I just think it's fair that it goes out the other way.
All right, let's take a look at the other way. Bill Piper, why do you think this is a terrible idea?
Well, I mean, these are tough economic times. To require someone to pass a drug test to get their unemployment insurance after they've been laid off is pretty cruel. And require them to pay for the test themselves is even more cruel. I mean, when you take a drug test, it's a pretty degrading process. You have to urinate in front of another person. To make sure you don't have those false positives, you have to disclose what prescription drugs you're on. So you have to tell complete strangers if you're on birth control or Viagra, or if you're suffering from depression. And just, normal everyday Americans shouldn't have to go through that. And we're talking about people who've already paid in to the unemployment system. They've been working hard already, and it's just simply unfair to throw another hurdle to feeding their families.
You know what, Mike? He makes a good argument. There are a lot of really personal questions they do ask, and unemployment insurance is money that people have already paid into the system. Why shouldn't they get it if they're laid off?
Sure. Well, the thing is when you file for unemployment, basically you're saying, I'm ready, willing, and, quote, able to go to work. If the person who pays into the unemployment has to pass a drug test, a random drug test, to pay into it, surely the people who are taking out would not object to having to pass the same stringent test. And it's the people who really need that unemployment that I'm here to protect. I want to make sure that there's money in that unemployment trust fund to cover those people. And if you're not able to go to work because you can't pass a drug test, why should you draw unemployment? It's real simple, I think.
All right, Bill, we'll give you the final word on this.
Well, I mean, clearly the people he's talking about were already capable of working because they were working and then just got laid off, and now they're being subjected to a drug test. And he talks about protecting, the average person applying for unemployment, and that's who, should be protected, and they shouldn't have to take a drug test, to prove something to anyone. They're just trying to feed their families.
All right. Well, we're going to keep track of this to find out whether or not it does pass. State Senator down in Florida, Mike Bennett, we thank you very much, and Bill Piper from the Drug Policy Alliance, we thank you both. All right.